Another day at cyclocross for round 8 of the Wessex Cyclocross League. The sun is shining because it's always sunny at Cross. And after last week's absolute mud bath, it looks bone dry this week. And watching everyone go round, it looks like it's going to be back to a complete road race, full gas, with no running. Can't believe it. Of course, the pre-race food was destroyed. You know the drill. We have one nutter in a hat. And of course, the secret pre-race pancakes. And this week we're going for Biscoff as the secret ingredient. We're going for berries for this legend. It's going to be a good day. And it looks like it's going to be an absolute brute of a course because it's quite windy, open. It's cold, isn't it? Windy, open, draggy. So looking at all the bikes that are going past, it could be a one bike race today, and it is going to be full gas as usual. So we're just about to watch the start of the ladies race. They're just being gridded now, see how it's actually meant to be done. But it looks like quite a tough start up here, and the camera probably doesn't do it justice, but it's like, it is definitely a hill all the way up, isn't it? Quite a tough climb, like grassy climb all the way up. So that start's going to be absolutely savage. I reckon it's like a minute of full gas. It's an absolute beast of a start. It's a proper hill. The rocket's hanging out. We're both hanging out, walking up here. It is one hell of a hill to get to the top. This is going to be absolutely killer. It is dry. It drags all the way up. Well done, ladies. That looks brutal, doesn't it, up there? That's course inspection done. What are your thoughts on the course, Rocket? Interested? Would you race it?
No.
Bit flat?
Yeah.
Bit flat? It's a bloody gigantic hill to get to the top. Yeah, all she wants to know is there's a team in the league called Montezuma Race Team, which are like sponsored by chocolate. All she wants to know is if you get free chocolate if you race for them. So if anyone knows, comment down below, because
not that I'm interested in riding.
I mean, she's not going to race unless she's allowed to use her e-bike, but she's interested in the chocolate. Too much mud last week, not enough this week. I was hoping for something a little bit in between. But we're going to go for a practice lap, see what it's like now. But you know, when you look at a course and you just think, this is going to be bloody hard this week. So practice lap and a little look at the course. We're just heading down past pits here. On lap 1, we had a slightly different route. The start straight and up this killer hill, which thankfully we only had to do once. But onto past the pits, we start climbing up the hill, and this was a killer drag. You dropped down into this little section here, and then it was a like gravel climb through the trees up to the next section, and this was really hard. Like, it zapped the legs, but even when you came out across the top, it flattened off a bit. But I'm pretty sure there was a headwind here, and it just drags along before you drop into the next field, and then it kicks up again. And it's just like a grassy drag all the way up to the top. It really did kill the legs off going up here. But once you got through this section, you basically just zigzag twist all the way back down that field. And this was seriously bumpy and hard work. Like, after just going up the long drag, it was really hard to get the legs to fire out of the corners. But then we come down into a quick descent, a little bit of zigzagging, before the final descent back down towards pits, which was quite fast. You were on like a gravel section, like a little gravel corner into that, then a real fast downhill towards the pits. Then there was a little zigzag up and over the hurdles, and then there was one last little kicker up the hill, which was leg zapping again before you descended back down, and then along at the start straight. A real tough course on the legs, just like grinding up them long drag. Compared to last week, absolutely no mud. Well, a little bit, but that is going to be like the beginning of the season again. It's going to be like an absolute road race. Like, I'll put it out there, this will be the hardest course for me anyway, I think, that we've done this year. That drag up to the top, that was brutal. Today's pre-race meal, we're going big. We've got pasta and pancakes. Of course, the Rocket's got to share a bag of crisps as well. She does not mess around with small packets of crisps. But I'm going to pass you over to the sexy assistant. No, and she's going to get the race footage. We've got a perfect spot to see the start of the, probably can't see through my dirty van window, the start of the Grand Vets race. Who do you reckon's going to get to the corner first out of them lot? I'm going guy with a yellow helmet that rides for Reading CC. Can you, oh, there's too much sun. Who do you reckon?
You talking to me?
No, I'm talking to everyone else that's in the van with me. Pick a person, put a fiver on it, £5 bet. Got a £5 bet. Who's going to get to the corner first?
I can't see enough because of the light.
Why, what are you looking for? What attributes are you looking for? Calf size?
No.
Quad size? Sure. Alright, you go for Satonia over there, black helmet. Alright, well I'm going yellow helmet, Reading. Reading yellow? Go on, Reading. Oh no, that other guy's just done a big stint. Where's Reading yellow? Second. That is definitely the biggest field of the day, and there's like 100 people in the Grand Vets race. That's mad. Here we go then, race time, and probably the hardest and fastest start we've had this season. It was absolutely full gas from the word go. I didn't get the best start that I've had all season. I was like, I don't know, probably around 8th, 9th, but when we got up to that little kicker through the grass bit, I managed to work my way up to 5th. You can see here the front guys are just absolutely pulling the pin. So these front four had started to gap me a little bit, and I was sitting in 5th place, and you're like tinkering on the edge of, if I go for this, I'm probably going to blow up and my world's going to explode. But you can see the front guys, they are seriously shifting now, and I'd come through in about 5th or 6th place. I managed to get back on now to this lad here. He had a bit of a off, and coming round the next section, I was feeling pretty good, sitting in like 5th, 6th place. The front guys had started to pull away. Like, their pace was just crazy fast. So lap 1, super fast. I come through in about 5th place, feeling good, and then we were on to lap 2. You can see the front 3 guys had formed like a good group and were absolutely pinning it. I was still in 5th at this point, and this is where it went horribly wrong. I'll try and get a little bit of footage, but I got completely taken out by the guy that was behind me. So we're on the floor, quickly got back up. I like hurt my knee a little bit, but managed to shrug it off and get going. The one problem was my boa on my shoe broke, and it was an absolute nightmare. At this point, I was slowly dropping back, and people were just coming past me, and it really got in my head. I was like saying to Dad in pits, should I change shoes? Yes, no. And I spent like the next 20 odd minutes faffing about whether I should change shoes, and it completely got in my head and threw me off. So I got into this little group, and I was working my arse off to stay with them. The problem was, every time I was getting off to run over the barriers, my foot was coming out of my shoe, and it was annoying me. But in the end, they started to pull away, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be an awful race again. And I'd fallen back to about 14th place, just letting this small little thing get in my head. But then, I mean, I just decided, you got to get over it, get on with it. I was thinking, if I change shoes, you can see they've opened up this gap now on me, and I'd fallen back to like 14th. If I'd changed shoes, I'd have fallen back even further. So I decided just to crack on, get on with it. And about a lap later, like, the legs started to feel good again, where I wasn't faffing about thinking. And I managed to get back onto this group. You can see, like, there was a fair few of us, 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the battle for 6th place here. There was like 8 of us or something, all battling for 6th. So in my head, I sort of knew that if I could just get on with it and close this gap to these 3 that were pulling away a little bit, they'd probably got like a 20-second gap. But I'd got past a few of the riders that were in that big group of 8. And you can see him there, and then started to slowly close in. And like a lap later, I don't know what happened, but then I'm like gone from getting blown out the back to on the front of the group battling for 6th place. And I was trying to keep the pace high. Me and this guy had slightly pulled away from Phil, who had dropped back into 7th, and then there was just 2 race battle now for 5th and 6th. I basically towed him up the whole way up that long drag, all the way to the top, and he just attacked me, got into the downhill first, and you can see there, he just absolutely nailed it, pulled away from me, and I didn't quite have the legs to stay with it. So he got 6th, and I come home in 7th place today. And that's a wrap and a bloody eventful day. I got in a little crash today, which I think we might have got a bit of footage of. Big injury on the knee. I've hurt my shoulder, broken my boa on my shoe, which is just an absolute nightmare as well, so I'm going to need a new one of them. The Rocket is on the wine because it's been such a tough day for her. But it's not all bad, because I did win in the raffle. I've got a jet wash. However, Dad was like, you can jet wash your own bike now. So I'm like, Christmas present for Dad. He's already got one though. But happy to pull it back. I had a bit of a nightmare like midway through the race, but managed to get back up to 7th. My head just went after the crash. So happy to get back up to 7th. Also a mega recovery meal made by the Rocket. We had veggie burgers and sweet potato fries. And we've also got Kinder Bueno cookies, which I'll pop a picture up of for the recovery of champions. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one.